can say who you did it with, okay? And maybe you can give me some feedback on how the activity went, all right? How about that? Now, yes, now we'll have a look at this vocabulary exercise that I told you about. Okay, so I have titled this Some Confusing Words, palabras confusas que confunden. One is open or opened. For example, well, the thing is, the translation is often the same in Spanish, but the word is different in English, depending on whether it's an adjective or a verb. For example, here it's obviously a verb. Could you open the door for me? Podrías abrir, infinitive, okay, no problem. Here it's an adjective. The shop was not open, it was closed. So there you go. In both cases, open, no problem. But then opened is only a verb and not an adjective. Okay, so for example, this hotel was opened in the mid-50s. Okay, expressing an act, was open, fue abierto, se abrió, se inauguró, for example. Okay, so there you go. So open is a verb or an adjective, but opened is only a verb. All right, and right, a little bit more. Okay, so here we have more confusing words. We have dish, plate, or course. The translation of each of these three words in Spanish is plato, but they have three definitions. One is food prepared in a particular way, one is the object you eat from, and one is the stages, las etapas de una comida. So which is which? All right? I'll give you the answers here, because otherwise you will be confused. Okay, so this one, have you guessed? You should really write down your answer before I give it to you. So, well, you know, I always tell you this. This is a dish, okay? So if you're talking about, for example, arroz de matanzas, that is a dish. If you're talking about paella, it's a dish, okay? Food prepared in a particular way. The object that you carry the food in, that is the plate, okay? This can fall and break. And course, this is not an object. Course is the different stages of a meal, okay? So you talk about the first course, the main course, plato principal, and dessert is the last course, really, okay? So this is a very common mistake among Spanish speakers. Right, so here we have the exercise. You need to complete these sentences with plate, dish, or course. Let me scroll down. So, what you have to put here? Dish, course, or plate. Okay? Course, dish, or plate. I already told you this is a dish. ¿Qué le gustaría de plato principal? I don't know whether to give you the answers or not. Think about it. The course, dish, or plate fell and broke into 3 pieces. Okay, I think I will. Okay, so this, the plate. Here, number 2, main course. 4, a 3, una comida de 3 platos. Es demasiado pesada para mí. 3 platos. Okay, so what do we say? Course, dish, or plate? It's a 3 course meal. Okay, una comida de 3 platos, a 3-course meal. And 5, could we have another for the bones? Otro plato para los huesos, por favor, las espinas del pescado. This would be, you ask for another plate. And this is the most expensive on the menu. Okay, you have the menu. This is the list of things in a restaurant. Okay, so the list of what? The list of dishes. So the most expensive dish on the menu. Okay, is it clear? Write to me if it's not very clear. Okay, right. And now I'm going to show you some mistakes, some typical mistakes that you make when you write, or that people make when they write. Okay, even well, anyway, let me show you. Okay, so now you need to look at these sentences, and they all have mistakes, but I'm going to give you 1 minute to think about what the mistakes may be. I'll read the sentences. This restaurant, one of the oldest of Ibiza, is situated in Spain Avenue. Its food is superb. Like, for instance, arroz de matanza, guisat de peix, and greixonera. The actual owner has made some reforms. Caldereta is one of their best plates. And it's opened since 12 in the morning till 12 in the evening. So, ideally, again, you should press pause, make the corrections, and then press resume, continuar again. I'll continue with the answers now. This restaurant, one of the oldest of Ibiza, here we already have 1 mistake. As usual, or as is often the case, it's a problem with the preposition. One of the oldest, not of Ibiza, but in Ibiza, if we're talking about the capital, or on Ibiza, if we are talking about the island, but you don't say off. Okay, it's not really a mistake, but you just don't say it like this. Okay, so one of the oldest on Ibiza, let's say on the island, is situated in Avenida España. Spain Avenue. Listen, don't translate. I had already told you this before. Don't translate names of streets. Okay, it's like you don't translate when you're talking about London. You don't talk about the La calle Oxford, no, you say Oxford Street, okay, it's the same. Avenida España, don't translate this. Its food is superb. The mistake, this is a very common mistake, even among English native speakers, okay? This should be, su comida es increíble, or deliciosa, or whatever. Su comida, that's not it is, it's without the apostrophe, okay? So ITS, no apostrophe here. Su comida, it's food. This would be it is food. It is food, no, it's food. Su comida, okay? Now we find this sentence, like for instance, for example, is the same. For example, arroz de matanza, guisat de peix, greixonera. We find this in a description of a restaurant. If this is for English speakers or American or people not from the island, when they see this, they will not know what you're talking about. They have no idea what arroz de matanza means. They have no idea what guisat de peix. So what you need to do, you need to explain what this is, okay? So it would be, like for example, arroz de matanza, which is a rice dish cooked with pork, okay? Guisat de peix, which is a kind of local fish stew, and greixonera, which is a local dessert. So you will need to explain all these, otherwise they won't know what you're talking about. 4. Here we have two common mistakes. I'm sure one you can see already is the actual owner. No, the present owner. Okay, the present owner, el propietario actual, the present owner, not the actual owner. The present owner has made, ha hecho, some reforms, not reforms, okay, alterations, okay. So the present owner has made some alterations. Reforms is just the wrong word. Okay, coming to the end. 5. Caldereta is one of their best plates. Caldereta, as I'm sure you know by now, is not a plate. Caldereta is a dish. So caldereta is one of their best dishes. Alright? And finally, here we have 2 mistakes. I'm sure you can see one of them, because we have already talked about it. It's open, because this is an adjective here, not a verb. It's open, so no ed out, it's open. And not since, it's from 12 till evening. Okay, the only thing is, there is an extra mistake here, because you don't say in the morning and in the, when you talk about 12, you talk more about midday, and here midnight. All right. So there you go. It's open from 12 midday or 12 noon. That's midday till hasta or to 12 midnight. Okay. Right. So I will now show you the same sentences with the corrections, except the last one, which I have to tweak a little bit. Just have a look at the screen. Okay, so here you go. Number 1, in Ibiza or on Ibiza. Okay, both, but not off. En España. It's, no apostrophe. Okay. And number 6. There you go. Okay, so that will be all. That's all for today. I think it's enough already. This is the longest video class so far. Remember that next Monday we have the grammar pal test, and I think tomorrow what I'll do is I'll go through some of the most common problems in the grammar pal. But if you have any questions, do write, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you very much. Speak tomorrow. Bye.